Nestled between misty hills and endless forest, the quiet village of Elderglen had one unspoken rule: never touch the stone in the river. The stone was smooth, dark as obsidian, and perfectly round, resting in the center of the Silver Vale River. Despite decades of rain, floods, and harsh winters, it never shifted, cracked, or aged. The elders claimed it had been there before the village even existed. Some said it was a relic of ancient gods. Others whispered it was a prison, holding something in. No animal drank near it, no boat crossed its path, and the water around it was always colder than anywhere else in the river. The stories varied, but one thing was always the same. Anyone who touched the stone vanished within 3 days. That warning didn't stop Aaron, a 26-year-old traveler chasing strange legends for his blog. A self-proclaimed skeptic, he believed every myth had a logical explanation. After all, how could a rock make someone disappear? When he arrived in Elder Glen, the villagers were polite but wary. A woman at the inn begged him not to go near the river. "Some doors," she said, "don't close once opened." Aaron smiled, thanked her, and ignored the warning. The next morning, before dawn, he made his way through the fog and stood at the riverbank. The stone sat silently in the mist, ripples circling it, as if the river flowed around it instead of over it. Without hesitation, he waded in. The moment his hand touched the stone, the current stopped. Birds silenced, even the wind held its breath. Then the cold hit him, sharp and sudden, like he'd fallen into ice. The stone vibrated beneath his palm. Just for a second. Then, nothing. The water began to move again. The wind returned. Oren laughed nervously and trudged back, convinced the myth was just that, a myth. But that night, something changed. At exactly 2:13 a.m., he woke up gasping for air. The mirror across from his bed was fogged over, though the window was open and the night was dry. Scribbled into the condensation were words he hadn't written. 3 nights. The next day, people avoided him in the street. Children cried when they looked at him. His reflection started to warp, his eyes glowing faintly in the mirror. Whispers echoed behind him, always just out of earshot, always in a language he didn't know. By the second night, he stopped sleeping. His dreams were filled with drowning, endless darkness, and voices chanting beneath the water. The third night arrived. Aaron lit a fire and sat in his room, gripping a flashlight and a pocket knife, heart pounding like a drum. Midnight passed. Nothing happened. Relief crept in. Maybe it was all just paranoia. Then the river called, not audibly, but inside his head. A pull, a command. Compelled, he walked out of the inn barefoot, eyes blank, skin pale. The villagers watched from their windows but didn't move. They'd seen this before. Arin stepped into the water. He walked until it swallowed him whole. No struggle, no splash, only silence. The next morning, the stone in the river was glowing faintly. But this time it wasn't alone. Beside it, barely visible beneath the surface, a second stone had appeared, smooth, round, and just as dark.